Adam Friedman, Rivals.com, here at Bishop Sullivan High School in Virginia Beach, Virginia, with new four-star athlete Tahj Capehart. Has a top 10, but really 5 of those schools seem like they're doing the best job with you. Which 5 are those?
Bama, Maryland, Tech, Penn State, and
all right. Well, it looks like 4 of them are doing the best with you then.
Maryland.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, since they were the last one here, let's start with them. Maryland. What is it about Maryland that you really like right now, and what do you think of that whole new staff?
Maryland, Coach Beatty, he's been recruiting me for a long time. He's been to a lot of schools and recruiting me from all those schools. The class there that's already committed there is recruiting me hard too. I just really like the program. Coach Bell, his offense, he's a great young coach and he knows what he's talking about. When he sat me down, he said I could help it out a lot, so I really like that about him.
Now you recently went up there. I think that was your second time up there too,
right.
if I remember correctly. What is it about the campus that you like? Because it's a little bit different than back home.
It's definitely in the city. I always wanted to be in the city when I was moving on in my life and furthering my career and everything. DC area is always a great area, and it's not that far from home. So.
Okay, cool. Now, your most recent visit, I believe, was to Alabama.
Right.
What was that like?
It was great. I sat down with some of the coaches, Coach Napier and Coach Tahj. Sat with them, talked to some of the recruits, Diggs, and we just relaxed, sat down. Taught me how I could help his program and how I could come in and set the trend for 757 kids.
Okay, cool. And I think you also mentioned Virginia Tech in there. New offensive staff there. What do you think of the change in that program and the possibility of you maybe playing early there?
Definitely, it's a big possibility. Coach John, he's been recruiting me since he was at ODU, so you have a big connection. Coach Wiggins is a great coach. He can teach me how to be a better player and a better man on and off the field. So I really like that about them.
Okay, cool. And I think the 4th one you said was Penn State, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of that offense? I mean, they've been stockpiling talent at wide receiver.
Coach Gaddis, he's a great coach. He's a young coach, and he's been doing great with the guys that he's had. He's been making them All-Americans all over the place. So I really like that about Coach Gaddis.
Okay, cool. Now, what's going to be the deciding factor here? I mean, these 4 schools, they have a lot to offer, but they're also pretty different too.
Right. Just my parents, how they feel about everything, how far, how close. Definitely just the education, how it can help me after football.
Okay. Now, coming up, what are your plans?
We're visiting West Virginia next week, and then I think we have a tournament coming up in 2 weeks down in Charlotte. So right now we're just trying to come as a team because we have a lot of transfers coming in and everything. So we're just trying to build as a team. Okay.
What do you think about West Virginia? I mean, that offense has been pretty explosive. Big 12's wide open. What do you think?
Coach Williams has been recruiting me for a minute too. I just like the fact that the head coach runs the offense, so he knows what type of guys that he wants in his offense, and I was one of those type of guys, so I really like that about that.
I got you. Okay. Now, that's really 5 schools that we've talked about here. You're really working with the top 10. That's what you've made public. But when do you feel like you're going to officially narrow your list down and eventually take some official visits or commit?
I don't know when I'm planning on taking my officials, but I do plan on probably committing right before the season.
Oh, okay.
That's my choice right now. It's not a set date or anything yet. I do plan on trying to visit Nebraska though. They're a big contender for. He's been recruiting me for a long time now too. I really like him too.
They've got a lot of hype right now on the recruiting trail. Do you see that? Does it make an impression with you?
Definitely. Him coming down to visit me was just big from all the way in Nebraska, so he put a big impression on me.
Okay, very good. Now, my last question for you is really about the position you play in college. We've got you listed as an athlete. You kind of play a little bit of both sides in high school. It sounds like a lot of the wide receiver coaches are the ones working on you best, but would you be open to playing defensive back, or are you just sticking with wide receiver?
Definitely defensive back. I feel like my heart and soul is at wide receiver, but I feel like I'm naturally better at DB just because of my instincts and everything. But we'll see how that pans out when I get there.
All right, fair enough. Tahj Capehart, thanks so much for your time.